My glamorous assistant later on, but it should be good. We'll be 90 minutes almost exactly. He said the last time we were 25 minutes over, but the high street was closed. The high street was closed, but this time we will be on time. Okay, so you're all from Ayr, or where have you travelled from? Apart from, is it Robert, New Zealand? Hey, over there. Tremendous. All the way for this. All the way for this. Honestly, we are humbled. We are humbled. Anyone else? Presswick. We are trying to start. We are trying to do a tour in Presswick. We need to work out where we're going. The problem with Presswick is it's not as contained as Ayr, and so if you want to go to the likes of the salt pans, that's quite a walk from maybe the market. What the role of women and how they were judged was like in the 17th and 18th century. Okay, so he was, when the mother divorced the father, Sir George Lockwood of Carnrath, he awarded 1,700 merks per annum to her mother. John Cheesley took umbrage to this and promptly shot him. Okay, so Rachel at this time was 10. John had his right hand chopped off and then he was hanged. As I've been told on Remembering Auld Ayr before, he was not hung. We hung meat. Meat was hung. People are hanged. Just to be specific, okay? Rachel is a noted wild beauty. I love that phrase. She was a wild beauty. Okay, she was highly intelligent. 17th and 18th century, what a great thing. She marries John Erskine, who eventually becomes Lord Grange. She is 28 at the time of her marriage, and she might be up the duff. In fact, this wild beauty is almost certainly up the duff, right? But they managed to keep each other warm over the space of the next 25 years. They have another 4 daughters and 4 sons, so there's 9 children altogether, including the one that forced the marriage. However, she is known as somebody with an imperious temper. She's imperious with an unreasonable temper. Not a good thing at the time. Okay, so in 1732, she is taken forcibly from Edinburgh, where she lives, and she eventually finds herself her way to St Kilda, and there she resides until, I think, until 1740, and at that time she's about 59, 52, 53, and she is, if anybody been to St Kilda? Nobody been to St Kilda? One. Right. If you've never been to St Kilda, there are a number of day trips that take you to St Kilda. Go. It's fabulous. It's expensive, but you will never ever forget it. So, but she is taken there, and she's imprisoned. For the rest of her life she's imprisoned. At the end of the day, there's only another 2 letters come out of Rachel Chesley's hand. Her husband, Lord Grange, is a very pious man, very religious, very concerned about the end of the Witchcraft Acts. And this is what keeps Rachel Chesley alive. The Witchcraft Act of 1735 does away with the old corporal punishment, capital punishment. You can't suddenly take, strangle and then burn a witch, as we could have done for the last 300 years. Okay? Rachel Chesley has a number of things that are wrong with her in 17th and 18th century. She is highly intelligent, she is challenging, she is a problem, and the other thing is her husband John has a mistress who he prefers to Rachel. How do we get her out of the way? Up we go, okay? And it's to highlight the days of the cunning, strong woman. The 17th and 18th century were not good at all. And we forget that, and there's actually, in this one story, there's nothing to do with Ayr, rather than to simply set a context to where we're going after this. And the other thing is, it's usually Richard that does the Wallace Tower. So I had to talk about something. So this is the way we go now. Oh, sorry. Sorry, that's okay. It's the only way. There's an awful lot of you. The next time we'll do the next few together. Okay, the important dates in Ayr. Where are we at the moment? Well, they're not remembering Auld Ayr too. Thank you very much. A heckler at long last. We're on Mill Street. Okay, so important dates in Ayr. First of all, in 1197 the town is formed by King William of Lion, and a castle is built. And it's a wooden castle, and it's over by the tennis courts of Montgomery Tennis. Okay? It gets its royal charter in 2005, maybe 2006. There is dispute. There was dispute on the page. One of us has got it wrong. Okay? Might be me. Or Richard, actually. It was Richard that said it in the first place. The royal charter allows them to do a weekly market, have a fishing rights, and also have a parish church. It also allows them to have a mill. We are in Mill Street. Okay, it's the continuation of Mill Street, but think about it. Mill Street starts because of the mill up by Dam Park. The mill up at Dam Park was the original town mill, started in 1205. That street there is 800 years old, give or take a few years. With that perspective, with that context, almost certainly there's certainly no street in America that's anything like that. Most of the streets in Europe are nowhere near as old as that. So what Jill's holding up is a map, and if you look at the Remembering Auld Ayr, we'll try and publish this. This is roughly a map of Ayr in 1534. So what you've got is you've got Mill Street. Did I say that I couldn't read maps? Mill there, going up there, and there, which is around about the entrance, which is around about the entrance to Debenhams car park. Underneath, that would have been where the barns of Ayr were, and the barns of Ayr were quite important. There was a mill. You ground your corn there, it needed stored, so it was stored in the corns, and then you would have taken it to the market, which was around about there. But we know the barns of Ayr for something else. A piece of fiction, maybe it's fact. At the start of Braveheart, the young William Wallace is running around, and he goes into a barn, and there hang the nobles of the specific town. Specific town in context is actually Ayr, and that was supposed to have taken part in the barns of Ayr. So if you go to Symington and you look right, you will see a tower on the hill, and that's called Barnwheel Tower. And Wallace is supposed to have stood there and looked down at the flaming barns of Ayr and say, the barns of Ayr, Barnwheel. So Barnwheel Tower. However, up here is one of my favourite pieces, and that is the little carvings of herbs, incense, and healing things. Can anybody tell me why they're there? The Blackfriars Monastery, that's exactly that. So if you're to speak to Wallace here. Right, Wallace, two really good history pages in Ayr as far as I'm concerned, Remembering Auld Ayr and Ayrshire History. And Wallace Kerr does Ayrshire History. And he told me that the Blackfriars Monastery was basically in this area. The Blackfriars Monastery starts in 1213. It's a long, long time ago. It's only 15, 16 years, 14, 15 years after the town is actually given its royal charter. And those are supposed to actually signify the healing that went on in the Blackfriars Monastery. And that's a load of rubbish. Who has read, I've got to be careful here, the Kate Moss books, M-O-S-S-E, not the emaciated model, who has a penchant for cocaine and stuff like that. So you've read, and it's about, have we mentioned, have we done this before?
Yes, side of the river last time.
Okay. So that's about Carcassonne, and it's about the Cathars, who were, sorry, please. That wasn't meant to come out just as bad. The Cathars were a sect that were in the Provence in France. Now let me explain. General map, and I know none of you can see the points, okay? Italy there, Spain there. In the 10th, 11th, 12th century, very, very strong church. There was only one church in those days, it's not a Catholic church, it's a church. One big strong church area there, and that's Italy. So let's face it, this big church area there, that is the Provence. Julius Caesar called it, it was called the Provence at that time, between two places. And that was a problem, because what happened in and around about this area, Carcassonne, you had something called the Albigensians, and the Albigensians believed in a different way, a different form of religion than the Catholics, or the church at the time. What they believed was a duotheism, which meant that there was a God of the good and there was a God of the bad. How you doing? On you go. So the God of the good and the God of the bad. They had a massive advantage over the Catholics at the time, because the Catholic Mass was still in Latin. So you might have been a French person or a Cathar, or you might be a Scots person or an English person, and you would be listening to a Mass and it would be Latin, and most of you couldn't understand it at all. Okay? So the Cathars preached in their own language. And that was a real advantage, because when all the pilgrims went from Italy to Spain, or Spain to Italy, there was a lot of them got captured and they seemed to be talking the right language. So what actually happened was, one of the popes said we need to actually have a crusade against the Cathars. And that happened around about the 1180s or so. And the 1180s, you have a guy called Simon de Montfort who took a crusading army from England and various other places to that area for 40 days, because that's all a feudal lord could do. We'll take you for 40 days and we will massacre a few places. So if you go to there, anybody see the slip? I felt it. If you go to there, which is Béziers, the crusading army went to Béziers, and for 40 days and 40 nights they slaughtered the Cathars. They reckon 20,000 people were slaughtered in the space of that period. But the only problem about a crusade is it only happens for 40 days and then they're way back home. The thing was, it happened for about 5 years. So the Pope said, well, we need something better than this, so what we're going to do is we're going to start an Inquisition. This is well before Monty Python and the Spanish Inquisition. This was an Inquisition. So they're there at the heart of the problem, and they are based in Carcassonne. The Inquisitors were by and large religious men. There's two sets of religious men that are started at this time. One is called the Dominicans, and they are called the Blackfriars, and they start in 1214. And the other is called the Grey Friars, and they are Franciscans. I was trying to remember that as we were going along. They are called the Franciscans, and they start 1209. The thing about both of them is they are there, they've got an agreement for the Pope, they will speak in their own language, in the language. They're in Scotland, they'll speak in Scottish, they're in England, they speak in English, Ireland and so on and so forth. The big difference between the two is the Dominicans preach, but they also oppose heresy. So they are the original inquisitors. Now, if you look at the Inquisition of the Cathars over a 100-year period, they reckon that over 1 million people died in that small area of France. Think of the dates. 1214, the Black Friars start. 1230, they build the friary there. 16 years. They have not suddenly become cuddly in 16 years' time. What's happened is they are here for a purpose. Alexander II wants a bunch of Black Friars, and there are 8 separate friaries that happen in Scotland around about this time. But they are there for a specific purpose. Yes, they'll speak in their own language, but the opposing heresy is very important. And what actually happens, if you look at this area, there are very clear clues as to where they might have been going. And if you're from Turbolton, I apologise straight here and now, okay? But if you look at Turbolton is I think it's been there for 2,000 years, 1,500 years. Tor is hill off. Bolton is based in Belstane. And Belstane was one of the major pagan gods. So basically they're saying, people from Turbolton are saying, we are in the hill of the pagan god. Hunky-dory. Where do you think they go? They'll find a way of going through it in any way possible. So, the thing about a friar is they're not allowed to draw blood. But they can do other things. They can take you from Iraq, and they can take you limb from limb. They will get somebody else to burn you. They will get somebody else to torture you in any way possible. Now, clearly religious orders have changed over the last 800 years. Maybe not that much, but they have changed over the last 800 years. But 800 years ago, that was a fairly sinister place as far as I'm concerned. So the idea of having all these healing herbs and spices, you could question it. Okay? So, no, it's okay. You're okay. That's great.